And so we had to study 3 different philosophers every class. We had 3 classes a week. And then at the end, we had a test. The professor said, well, now that you've studied all these different philosophies, I want you to describe which philosophy you best identify with. And you identify a philosophy by your concept of God and the purpose of man. And so they went through, started the front row and started to go through. And after about the 4th or 5th person, it became abundantly clear that no 2 people were going to say the same thing. And he said, well, I agree with so-and-so. And they said, God is trees and man is this and born and whatever. And they just, everybody had each little nuance, and no 2 were alike. And I had other things to do, so my thoughts were elsewhere. And finally they get back to me and said, Bob, well, what's your philosophy? I said, oh yeah, concept of God. Okay, I believe that man is a creation who is made in the likeness and image of God, who is the creator and the sustainer of the universe. And so then I looked back down to my book, and suddenly the class just erupted. I mean, just everybody whipped around in their chair, and they're all talking out loud, and they're attacking my philosophy. And I thought, this is like candid camera. Somebody's going to come in and pull the whistle. I mean, this is crazy. I started giggling, just like you are. I thought, this is crazy. Like I poured gasoline on the floor or something. I mean, you're all upset. And so I was with my brothers a few days later, and I told them what had happened and how everybody was offended at my philosophy, and yet they just had 35 of them and nobody was offended at all. And I said, how did they know that what I said was truth? Why were they only offended at that? So a couple of weeks later, my brother, who is a philosopher, he said, Bob, I was thinking about your philosophy class. I said, yeah? He says, I think I know why they got offended. I said, why is that? He said, well, let us suppose that you wake up one morning and you're up in the bathroom shaving, and you look out the window, and down in the side yard of your house is a brand new Corvette. And you think, that's my house, my yard? Ooh, new Corvette. And so you get ready to go to work, you go down in there, it's got the keys in it and everything. You think, ooh, this is nice. And so you go to work, come back, it's still there. And well, of course, at nighttime, you can't just leave the keys in it, so you got to lock it up, right? And then Saturday afternoon, you got to mow the lawn, you can't just leave it sitting in the grass, so you move it over the driveway. And after a while, your car ought to be used, so you kind of maybe drive it to the store every now and then. And pretty soon you start driving to work, and after a while, you just incorporate it into your life. This is my Corvette. So one afternoon, you got some friends over, and you're having flipping burgers on the grill in the backyard, and one of your friends said, Bob, that is a really good-looking Corvette. You know, that's a nice car you got there. And you say, yeah, you'll never believe where that car came from. So really? No, I just looked out the window, and there it was. I mean, just there it was. And one of your friends says, I think I know where it came from. Really? Where? I think that there were these molecules, and they were floating along, and they kind of bumped into each, and bang, there's a Corvette. And the guy said, no, that's not what happened. That car used to be a Volkswagen. And over a long period of time, many, many years, long time, millions of years, long time, it became a BMW, and then after a BMW, then it became a Corvette. Could be, who knows? And then somebody else says, no, I think I know that car. I know who bought it. I know who owns it. I know who lost it. I know who's looking for it. I know who's coming to get it. Tell me about these molecules over here again. That's the only idea you didn't want to hear. Everything else is fine. Oh, just be so tolerant and all. But if you say that there is a God who knows and loves, and someday we will stand before, suddenly this tolerance folk, the ones that go around bragging about tolerance all over their bumper stickers, they'll flat run you over with it.